gentlemen, welcome back to my Superstar Baseball character analysis. Today we're talking about the fourth best character in the game according to the tier list we've made for 2020, and that is Birdo. Believe it or not, even though 4 is so high, Birdo is 2 slots lower than she was in the last tier list. The highest someone rated Birdo this time around was 2, and the lowest, 9. That's a pretty low Birdo for what many people consider to be undoubtedly the best character in the game in their eyes. Obviously, we're going to talk about other points of view, but there are lots of people who think she's the best, and obviously that means she's got a lot to bring to the table, so let's talk about it.
Do you want to do a positives versus negatives here? All right. Do you want to be the positives or negatives?
I'll do the negatives.
Good. All right.
I'll be the hype guy.
Yeah. All right. So Birdo is such a swingy character because she does have a lot of positives. I'm going to focus mostly on Captain Birdo because that's where she should be picked and should be picked early or earlier. Teammate Birdo is definitely a lot worse because she loses 1-star Egg Ball, which is huge. So let's get into Egg Ball. Egg Ball is... Weird Ball. Thank you. Weird Ball is one of the most controversial star swings in the entire game, both on the field and in discussion, because it can both result in like triples and sometimes in the park home runs from crazy bounces and double plays. I've honestly never seen a character with more variance than Birdo, and that's why spending 1 star on that is okay, but spending 2 stars on it. Spending 2 stars on getting a double play, I'm not really interested in, personally. She is one of the best shortstops in the entire game, if not the best. One of. Yoshi plays it better. But because of her suction, she can just get to balls that a lot of other characters just straight up cannot get to. And she has a good chemistry tree, too. Petey Piranha? Is that correct? Yeah.
And Yoshi.
And Yoshi. Like, that's just a great chemistry tree. You're literally within top 8 with that chemistry. She brings a lot. She also has body check.
Does she?
She does.
I'm learning so many characters have body check.
Yeah, barely relevant, but yeah. So let's hear some of your negatives.
Well, hold on. I think you got one more positive you forgot. Just the regular singles bat. Pretty good on Birdo.
It's
not the best,
very
totally
controversial.
Worth talking about.
Very controversial bat, but honestly, not terrible. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I don't think it's abysmal like some people do, but I don't hate it.
So originally when I did my Birdo rank years ago, I was not as high on her singles bat, and I'm still not, but I don't think it's as bad as it is, at least I thought it was. It's definitely not top 15, without a star, if you rank all the characters, but it's not awful. You can still get hits with it. The thing with Birdo for me is that I think that for as much as we talk about all these other characters with their stars, their 1 stars, their 2 stars, the fact of the matter is when you have Captain Birdo, you are putting her in the middle of your centerpiece lineup, which means you need to have stars. And knowing for me, I have to game manage to make sure I have a star or I have 2 stars. It doesn't sit easy with me because having Captain with 1 or no stars in the middle of my lineup with men on base with 2 outs, she's probably the worst character on my team at that point. I would not want up. I think that her ball is great, but I do think it's a lot of RNG based. I've practiced with Birdo I don't know how many times, and I've said, I got to hit it here. I got to hit it there. I got to hit it on the end of the bat. I got to time it early. There's just no skill base from my point that I can say, point of contact, that was on me, that was a good ball. It's pretty much just make contact, don't foul it off, and hope the ball lands. That doesn't sit well with me, who I would like more skill-based to my swings, which the 1-star hitters, you can time early, you can time late. And there's still RNG to it, but not as much as Birdo, who, if the ball is hit at the infielder and there's men on base, it's a double play, and it almost kills the inning. So my thing in reasoning with Birdo, with ranking her where I did, I don't want to play against Captain Birdo, because for the same reasons I said with their skill-based, I can make great pitches and the opponent make a bad swing, and it does nothing. Again, there's nothing I could do, and it is a triple. It is a Birdo, and that can decide the game. We saw what happened. Season 5, that belt is there because of a weird ball. Like, it was a triple. It bounced into this. So as much as I dislike Birdo, because I don't think she's much of a skill-based character with the star, you have to still respect the fact that she is a really good infielder. She does have Yoshi Chem, which means you can get double plays. She has PD Chem, you can get, a good throw home or a good throw to first. And the singles bat is trending up. But I do think that after tracking all of Birdo's hits so far through the first, 15, 16 games through season 6, the extra base hits are not there. One of the lowest characters on extra base hits this season for the amount of stars that have been over 40 stars have been used through the first 15 games, like middle of week 2, with Birdo and I think only like 6 extra base hits, which isn't many. When you look at the fact that Boo has more extra base hits, DK has more extra base hits, Boomer, PD, KB, Parrish. So it's like, while Birdo is fantastic, I think that she has to be on the way down for me. She has to be. She has to be. Because I think we are adapting to the ball. We're not committing as much in the outfield. We're not leaping and diving to try to cut that ball off to make it a single. We're kind of letting it hit the ground, let it take its roll. Birdo's not fast enough to leg at the double, and if she is, good for Birdo. But I think because we're starting to have players like Noki with PM, with chemistry, or Mario with Yoshi, that arm, that cutoff is a good throw, and it's keeping Birdo to first base. So,
True.
Birdo, for me, she's on the way down. Still a great captain, but I think if we do change some methods of drafting, I could see in a perfect world where she's not the captain of importance anymore, because you could just wait and make players that are maybe aren't as valuable captains, like Wario, because Wario Star is good too. Problem is Wario isn't good much out that.
I'm gonna say that Birdo is like right where she needs to be. It's the top of the card. She's a main eventer. There's nothing you can really do about her being here. Any way you stack it, Birdo doesn't have skill. Her bat's unreliable, etc., etc. There is never, ever going to be someone who doesn't remember that a weird ball to the right spot can literally win a game at any moment. And if we're shifting to a captain-centric meta, she's still going to be one of the captains that's highly sought after. And if we don't, that still keeps her as one of the big 3 captains. And on top of all of that, if power hitters go down, the only people in front of her are power hitters. So I think seeing her go down as well is unlikely. So I think she's right where she needs to be in the 4 slot.
I rank Birdo 9th on my list, and I'm pretty set on that. She's going down. Fuck her.
Wild.
I hate her. The variance is too much for me, man. I'm not willing. Like, Bobbles already throw games for me enough. Like, I'm not willing to add more variance to my games. I'd rather have, like, Noki, Magikoopa, Paratroopa to use my stars on, and even, like, a Rogue Mario. DK Captain, especially. Like, I'd much rather be using my stars on that than a Birdo. It always feels so bad to use 2 stars on a Birdo because of how high variance she is. So if you're not picking her as a captain, she definitely goes down a lot. Even if you are picking her as a captain, probably don't, because you have to give up Bowser. Usually, if you don't have to give up Bowser, then like that kind of adds a little sock to her, but not really. And you have to give up DK captain, which I think that 1-star banana ball just that adds into DK's arsenal and really gives an argument for him being a really high up character. Like, I don't know, man. Down.
I think her problem with me is the fact that you have to make sure you have stars. Making sure you have to have stars changes your entire draft strategy, because then you can't have as many 1-star hitters, because the average star swings per game, just off numbers, is around 8 star swings per game. So if you have 4 Birdo at bats and you're using 50% of your stars on one of your 9 characters, you don't have room to spare either for your non-captain star swings or your 1-star swings. Mm-hmm. And while she's great at what she does, which we know, it is bothersome to know you need stars for her to be even reliable where she bats in your lineup.
Well, that's gonna close the book on. I mean, I think it's safe to say the most controversial character in the game. Coming into, I was the stat guy, as very clearly stated many times for this whole tier list thing, and I had, I think it was 4 people ask me, Are we doing 2 separate entries for Birdo, captain versus non-captain? To which I literally had to respond to every single one of them. She is one character. You have to weigh out both of those things.
Yeah.
And you saw people like you who were like, fuck the captain, she's 9. And people like Andrew who were like, her captain's so valuable, she's got to be 2. So I think this is one character, like every tier list, she might be somewhere, and at the time it might look right, and then all of a sudden she flashes back to the other side of that spectrum.
Hope so.
She's a wild character, and thus a wild discussion ensued. So I hope you all enjoyed. Click the like button. This is a good one. Hopefully, we only got 3 more of these left, and you've got eyes and ears and watch the tier list. You know who they are. So buckle up. We're getting heavy here. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh my god, I'm so fucking tired.
And if you want to get more information on this great game, come over to the Discord. Literally any question you have about this game could be answered by any of those guys in a second. They'll answer you literally right away. It might even be me. So the link is down below in the description. And also, we just recently started a Patreon. As of right now, there are no rewards for becoming a patron. We're currently brainstorming things that a patron would do. But we really like bringing you all this content. We put out a video every single day. We really love bringing you this content, and we want the quality of our content to be even better. So we started the Patreon as a way for you guys to chip in and donate so we can upgrade our equipment between controllers, recording equipment, whatever, because we're going off of literally stuff I own, and I pay rent and I have student loans, so it's not the best. But we'd love to update all that stuff for you. So if you want to join the Patreon, the name is right here somewhere, and it'll be in the description as well. So thank you so much, and some sort of rewards for patrons will be coming eventually. So thank you so much. And I want to give a quick shout out to the first 3 people who subscribed to our Patreon: Connor Nace, Jake Winans, and Blake Dubty. That's awesome, guys. I literally made the Patreon today, and 10 minutes in, we already had 2 patrons, and then Blake joined later. So, thank you so much. And I'm planning on shouting out our patrons at the end of any produced video. A lot of the games don't go through anything, like any production. They just go straight from the recording setup to YouTube. Anything produced will have the patrons' names at the end of the video. So, thank you so much for being our patrons, and catch you next time.